What's up, YouTube? This is BoldHam93 here, coming to you with an Inzektor deck profile. This is, if you notice, the first video that I've posted in quite a while. It's because after I had uploaded my Machina and Samurai duel videos way back months ago, the next day my camera ended up breaking. So I ended up not being able to start posting videos regularly like I had hoped. But luckily I have a new digital camera now, so hopefully I'll be able to get back in the YouTube scene and be able to do some online trades and so on, and post my decks and everything. I guess since I've been gone, the most news that I have is I've just been judging a lot more lately. I judged the last regionals I went to at Little Rock. I judged the World Championship qualifier, which is actually where I got this mat from my judge compensation, and it was actually really fun. I got to meet a lot of cool judges there and get to do a whole lot of stuff and talk about things, joke around, laugh. So I definitely had fun, and I really had fun judging the Little Rock regionals too. It's definitely something I want to do again. So I've already applied for judging for the Indianapolis, Indiana YCS coming up here, I believe in September. So hopefully I'll get to do that and that will go well. But I guess aside from judging, there's not a whole bunch of other news. Although I'm judging at bigger events, of course, I still go to locals every weekend, so I'm, still playing, and every time I hang out with my friends, we bust out our decks and play, so it's not like I'm out of shape in the game or anything. I mean, the last 2 weeks I went to my locals. I got first place with the deck list I'm about to show you, and guess I can get to that. Start off with the monsters. I play, but of course, triple dragonfly. I play my triple centipede, my triple hornet, and for other Inzektors I play a solo gigamantis and a solo ladybug. I used to run the hopper version, but it just ended up being inconsistent. I don't think hopper's a bad card, it's just ended up being bad for me in a lot of situations, and there are so many other times, I wish he was something else. And I did run one hopper, one ladybug, and then I ended up running two ladybug, and the second ladybug ended up, I'd have one out and it'd just kind of be like, oh, the most I can do is summon this and equip with Hornet if something happens to my other Inzektors. But I did end up replacing the other ladybug with a foolish, just because, obvious reasons, that if the foolish was ladybug, it'd just be ladybug. Since it's foolish, it's basically any of these four, so it works out really well. I love ladybug. It sets up a lot of plays, and that's the Inzektor engine. As for my light targets, I have a BLS and 3 Veilers. Most people would think the BLS is inconsistent here with only 3 light targets in the main deck, but it's just that you run lights in the extra deck with Giga Brilliant and Tyrus and everything, that it still makes BLS more playable, and usually you're going to draw one of these 3 out just because of odds and everything. So he's never just really dead for me. He's scarcely ever dead. Next, I have Solo Sang and Solo Gores, of course, for searching, and of course just for the heavy drop. I do not run the tour guide version. I actually have a friend of mine who's using my tour guides and my Zen mains right now, so when you get to the extra deck you'll notice it's not in there. But yeah, I've noticed that of course the tour guide version's good. I'm not going to put it down at all. It's just I do definitely have fun with the variant that I'm running now, just because of a couple of the texts that I use in here, and one of them I'll show you right now. I main deck my last monsters, triple Doom Caliber. I did play 2, but I ended up playing 3 just because I don't play Fiendish Chain, so this ends up just being able to stun a lot of things where Fiendish Chain normally would. It also, this deck runs a low monster pool, so it's another monster to get out on the field. It's big, and one of the other reasons I love this card is so many people waste Veiler on it just so I can bait it out, because if I summon Doomcow first turn, they'll drop Veiler, so I have to force the negation, and then after that it's like, well, it sucks, they got rid of my Doomcow, but hey, I'm -1 from their hand. On top of that, I'm minus Veiler, so I'll be able to, hopefully get off a Dragonfly or a Centipede play next turn and be able to do some nice stuff. So Doomcow's definitely been good. I got this tech idea from Jarrell Pro Winston, who, congratulations by the way. He got 4th place at the World Championship qualifier with his Chaos Dragons. He took 2 of these in here, so I'm really proud of him. Really like the idea. I love Doom Cal, and I'm glad it's actually seen play again. And of course, it's been working out for me. I definitely love this card. Spells, I have, of course, to use Caliber for the OTK, double MST. I did run triple in the main deck, but for my locals, there's a lot of Chaos Dragons up there. There's a couple Monarchs. You know, there's stuff that doesn't run a lot of back row, so these can end up being dead. So I kind of took out the 3rd MST main deck just to play around locals. Double Lance, of course. Then solos I run Book, Foolish talked about, Reborn, and Darkhold. You know, all staple mainly when it comes to the spells. And then for traps, I have my double Torrential Tribute, double Bottomless. A lot of people question the double Bottomless main deck, and it's very good. It's just that, you know, it helps to a point stall until you can get the Inzektor stuff you need to your hand. I mean, it gets over big things, anything to run over, you know, any of your possible Dragonfly that was Veilered or anything like that, and it's good against all the top tier matches. You know, all Bottomless Hunter, Bottomless the vanillas that Rabbit brings out, Bottomless, you know, Light Pulsar, so it really helps. I was questionable about it too. I used to only run 2 Torrentials, 2 Calls, and then the Solemn Brigade in it, but I ended up taking these in here because a lot of people at the WCQ were, and I wanted to see the big deal, and I'm definitely not taking out of the main deck. And then, of course, Double Call the Haunted. I also, another thing people teched in a lot at the WCQ were Threatening Roars. I love this card so much just because you get to sit on your Inzektor. You get to summon Centipede, equip Hornet, pop something, attack, set T-Roar in. They go, they summon something bigger than Centipede, you know, drop T-Roar, next turn, draw Centipede, pop, and then, you know, by then you've gotten 2 searches with Centipede, Dragonfly, the sword, that you got the OTK unless they have Veiler. So it really works out well just because you get to sit on. It stops, you know, dragons and big decks that get out OTKs. So it's just overall a really good card, and I'm definitely glad that, you know, people suggested this, and I've heard about, you know, people running Inzektors, and I'm just like, you know, what's the big deal with this too? I put it in, and definitely it's put in a lot of work. And then lastly, I have the Solemn Brigade. That's it for the main deck. Like I say, the tour guide build definitely works. I'd run it in place of the Doom Cals. Man, that's the only thing I'd change, but I do love the Doom Cals. It's real fun, and it gives it kind of a different feel to the deck. Going to the side deck now, I have 2 Kaiku, as well as 2-Dimensional Prison, of course just for monster removal, mainly for dragons and any other random things, random light swords and stuff like that I run into at locals. I've got double Level Limit and double Messenger of Peace, just for, you know, all the decks that run levels, Chaos Dragons, and of course any Synchro decks that I might run into. There's quite a few Dragunities at my locals and so on, you know, people running Sams and everything. The solo MST just for any deck that it's a good counter side for people that side Shadow Imprisoning, Macro, and also, you know, random GKs I run into. Same Double Decree, good counter side. It's also great against, you know, Chain Burn and Final Countdown. Goes in Match, really good card. Really love this card. It's helped me so much against the meta. You know, I won a duel in the top 2 actually just this weekend. It was me versus a windup, and summons Magician, and I'm like, oh, you know, flip Goes in Match, and it's just from there he couldn't recover. So it really put in work. I really love this card. And then Double D Prison, just for, you know, anything that you want to get some removal out, get over random Machinas you might run into. Then for extra deck, I play Solar Armor just because you can make it so easy with Veiler. For rank 3s, I have double Leviathan Dragon, Giga Brilliant, supposed to be my Zen mains, but my buddy has it, and I apologize for the backwards card. Levier, Acid Golem, and Temtempo. It's my rank 3s, of course, pretty staple, pretty standard, very good though. For 4s, I have Utopia. where you don't really just go into him often unless you make a Ladybug play or some sort of reborn play. I actually armed and a Clips Wyvern into him once, but he's definitely, necessary. You gotta have at least one level 4, and, why not him? Rank 5s. Play the Exostag, Crimson Shadow, Terror, Sajarius, and Mayo. Yeah, that's my token. And I play the Gaia Dragoon. Just because anytime I've already wasted the materials off them, I just drop Gaia Dragoon on top. And 2600 piercing, I can't really just top that. But yeah, it's basically the deck. It's been performing very well for me. I haven't been disappointed. I've tried the Doom Cal variant in it the past 2 times at locals, and I've won both times. So I'm not disappointed at all. Definitely been doing good. And I guess that's it. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to start posting more videos and start getting out there. But for now, I guess that's all. Peace out, YouTube. Nice seeing you again.